Let it all. Let it all work out. Let it all work out. I'm not gonna lie. If you guys have been on Arsenal Twitter lately, you guys are all seeing the vibes. Eze to Arsenal has literally made the whole Arsenal fan base unanimously be happy for once, excited about a transfer. I have not seen everyone this gassed since Ozil was announced back when we signed him from Real Madrid. But yeah, today's stream, we're going to be talking about Ebrici Eze to Arsenal. Arsenal have hijacked the deal from Tottenham. He is going to be an Arsenal player. We're going to talk about Isak and the whole drama with Newcastle. Could Liverpool end up getting Rodrygo? Could he end up going to Man City? Will Savinho end up at Tottenham? What is going to happen now? Also, there is Premier League games this weekend. So we got to talk about Chelsea, West Ham. We got to talk about City versus Tottenham. We got to talk about Leeds, Arsenal. Will Eze have his debut versus Leeds? We got to talk about it. But before we go any further, please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. And if you guys are new around here, get to know this is Vibes from the Six. And today we're vibing because Eze to Arsenal has got me in a great mood. I haven't stopped smiling since yesterday when I heard the news. I was at work today. I was walking around like Conor McGregor. And honestly, as much as I want to banter every single person, the reality is it was never a question. Once it was between Tottenham and Arsenal, the moment Arsenal came knocking, it was in a question. It just wasn't a question. But yeah, I got Ahmed in the building. I got Vader coming through. Vader's going to be here in a second. And we got Rack in the house. Plus, Jay will be joining us. And Ahmed, the Chelsea fan who went hiding last time, he also has the link. He's going to be joining us very soon too. But before we go any further, shout out to everyone in the comment section. Usually these shows are a little bit earlier. But today it is happening at 10 p.m. because this is the only time we can go. I was actually expecting to watch Crystal Palace's game in the Conference League qualifiers in case Eze played, but Eze did not end up playing. But yeah, Crystal Palace still get the 1-0 win, and most likely they're gonna go through probably. But hey, we'll see. Let's get into business though. Let's get into business. Before we go any further, I hope you guys seen my little viral clip the other day. Me talking to Staffy basically making jokes, trying to make me into a joke when Eze was being linked to Tottenham. It ended up backfiring and turning into one of the coldest takes I've ever done, to be fair. At a certain point, I didn't think it was going to go my way, but I trusted my people and I continued to be confident that we are going to get Eze even till the end. And I had people coming for me on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitter, everywhere. And I'm just happy. Ebrici Eze is going to be an Arsenal player come the end of the week, and his medical's tomorrow. Let's see what Liverpool and Man City do now. I know these guys, they're going to respond eventually, but right now, if you guys haven't seen my timeline, I have been singing all day. Let it all work out, because that's just how it feels. As a guy at 8 years, when he was 8, he got let go from Arsenal's academy, and now he's coming back.
So wasn't it 13? I heard it was 13.
I don't know what the age was. It was 14 years ago. He's 27 now. So what's 14 years ago? You're probably right. 13. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Eze is 20. What?
From one of your coldest takes to one of your warmest.
Yeah. He was 13. He was 13. But yeah, damn. He joined us at 8 years old. He was in our academy. I don't know why we let him go so young, but hey, things worked out in the end. Let's get into it though. How's everyone doing in the comment section? Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Ahmed, what's going on at United before we talk about Eze? What's going on at United? You guys are done with your window?
I don't think we're done. I think what's happening right now, it's about outgoings. We all know that Chelsea are very interested in Alejandro Garnacho, God bless Chelsea, and Todd Bowley for trying to facilitate this move. So it's all about getting rid of him. You know, speaking of the devil, yeah, big up Ahmed, by the way. We're speaking about Chelsea. So, yeah.
Really?
Perfect
Now we're
timing.
talking for United, but you know we're talking about
United trying to sell Garnacho.
Yeah, I just want to. Yeah, when it comes to Man United's transfer, what they're doing is they're trying to get rid of all the players that they don't want to see pretty much in the team, like the players that aren't going to feature at all, and that is going to be Alejandro Garnacho. So yeah, man, big up to Todd Bowley. I really do appreciate it. I'm actually surprised he's got some suitors. I'm really surprised, no. But I think he's got a bright future at Chelsea. Big up Ahmed. Yeah, I see him smiling. But with you've also got Højlund. Højlund is another one. He's got some Serie A links, AC Milan. I'm hearing Napoli talks. I think that's a perfect destination for him. Like when you look at Højlund, he's just I think he's scarred me for life. That's going to take some recovering. Him and Garnacho have taken a lot out of me, and I'm only 25. Yeah, I shouldn't be stressing this much as a youngster. Do you get me? So
that fine head of hair. We don't.
Guys,
fine head of hair may disappear quick time.
Guys, we just got news. Jackson's going to Villa.
Nicolas,
that's not breaking news. That's what he knew.
When did this come out?
That literally came out. What's it called? 2
I
hours
seen it a minute ago.
No, it came out 3 hours ago. Came out 3 hours ago from Fabrizio.
What's for how much or loan?
So they're discussing obviously the thing. It could be either a 10 million loan with a 60 or 50 million obligation, or it could be just an all-out, 60, 70 million pound deal.
I think that's actually I think that's a good signing for Villa. I actually think that's a good signing.
Great signing for Villa, man.
Is he an upgrade on Ollie Watkins? I don't think so.
He's an upgrade on a lot of players, man. He's an upgrade on a lot of players versus Villa.
No, but the thing is, like, when you look at Jackson and Watkins, you would probably say that Watkins is a better finisher, but with Jackson, he's got more of an all-round game. Do you get what I'm saying? He's got more of an all-round game. I personally,
I'm just gonna have to disagree with you there.
There's someone in the chat called Igaldinho.
Sam started that. Shout out Igaldinho. Big up. But yeah, continue. So Jackson.
Yeah, I think. Wait, are we talking about United or Jackson? I'm confused. Which one?
No. We kind of shift gears quick, but let's stay on Jackson for a second. Jackson to Villa. I think it's a good deal for Villa. To be fair,
I think it's a great deal. Great deal, man. Great deal for both sides.
Ahmed just wants that money. That's why I look at him. He's like Chelsea PR.
I'm not gonna lie. You guys bought the lap, so you could force somebody into buying Jackson. Really, like you don't even.
The thing for me about Jackson is just that I think he kind of fell on his sword towards the end. Again, the red card, the way he was playing, then the Club World Cup performances as well did not really help him out. His
confidence was shot.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's a combination of a lot of stuff. And listen, at the end of the day, Unai Emery was his former manager before Chelsea, and that was at his former club. I think it's a good destination for him. I think he has the potential to be better than Ollie Watkins for them, and that's why they're going for him, really.
No, but you got to understand as well. You got to understand with Nicolas Jackson, when Aston Villa line up, they might sometimes put McGinn or Morgan Rogers, but because Morgan Rogers is more versatile, he can play in the 10, he can play on the left, he can play on the right. Don't be surprised if you see Nicolas Jackson playing on the left, because that's personally for me, I think Nicolas Jackson's best position is off that left-hand side. So with Watkins, I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. I think he's just going to remain in a consistent, decent level. Whereas with Jackson, I think he's going to be that left side for them. That's what I personally think, because he's decent, bro. Like with Jackson, it's like when you're going to be a Chelsea. Obviously, when you're a striker for Chelsea, there's more eyes on you, there's more pressure, so you have to deliver. And if you're constantly missing chances, then it's going to get highlighted, and your confidence, bro, you got to have like a big. You just have to have like a. You have to be very thick-skinned and not things get.
This is Charles, man.
Yeah.
Listen, guys.
Rock is smiling, but listen, Ekitike. This is Liverpool. You know what I mean? So Darwin Núñez last season, you ask Darwin Núñez when he comes in. This is Liverpool, man. You know what I mean? They got right.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, eh?
Exactly,
guys.
But Jackson hasn't been like. I don't think he's as bad as people have made it out to be, especially Chelsea fans. I do think he's a bad finisher.
Oh yeah, Jackson played with Unai at Villarreal.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Do you not get what I was talking about?
But I think there's something about Jackson, though. There's something about Jackson. I've said that first season, a lot of Chelsea fans were getting on his back, and I thought, you know what, he's a handful. There's a player in there somewhere. Second season, it started well for him, didn't it? And I said this time last season we were talking about it, and I was saying I was really happy for the kid that he was proving some of the doubters wrong. Exactly. Unfortunately, with young players, development isn't linear, and he fell off a little bit. So I still think there's a good player in there.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We could stay on Jackson all day, but I feel like we're using a lot of good time on Jackson when we could be talking about something more crazy. City have a major update, and that update is your boy Savinho's not going nowhere, and it looks like Rodrygo's not going nowhere. And this is the update right here. It's coming from a well-known journalist in Spain. You guys know Guillem Balaguer. How do you pronounce his name?
Guillem Balaguer.
I thought I said Liam Gallagher for a second.
Yo, these names are like tough to pronounce. How do you pronounce his name?
Guillem, I think, the L is like a Y.
Click on his name though, because I actually want to see. Has he actually said anything about Rodrygo? Because these tweets here, when they say
so, he said Man City have decided to block the exit of Tottenham target Savinho, meaning that Rodrygo is not exiting and joining Pep Guardiola's side. If I go to the actual tweet, he tweeted today, he said that no further references of Rodrygo favoring a position on the left-hand side attack at Madrid. Vini, when he so he's gone into details about Real Madrid there. Let's see where he mentioned City.
But I think I don't know if you guys watch Real Madrid, but like Vini Jr. genuinely, he's not great anymore. Like the last season and a half. Here it is. The last season and change.
Come on.
No, I'm gonna be honest. We need to be honest. I'm a man of honesty. The last season and like change, his performances have dipped quite.
I'll tell you why.
Genuinely.
I'll tell you why. Yeah, listen. I'm gonna just.
This is an old tweet though.
Yeah, I'm just gonna explain it. Yeah, Vini Jr. is still a quality player, right? He's still a quality player. So this form that he's in right now, when Mbappe wasn't there, for example, when you look at how Vini was playing with the likes of Rodrygo, when you look at Vini when he was performing,
Mbappe.
No. All I'm saying here is that when Mbappe was at PSG, he had Neymar, he had Messi. People blamed Messi. He's finished, wins a World Cup. People said Neymar is not that good. He carried them in Champions League. When Mbappe, before he joined Madrid, Vini was one of the best players in the world. 2 back-to-back Champions League finals.
Ballon d'Or.
Was Ballon d'Or. He was amazing. His reputation was through the roof, by the way. And when you look at Rodrygo, he didn't get that much appreciation as like Vini, because Vini did more, but Rodrygo was still having some very good performances. But because Vini was the star, you didn't really. Rodrygo doesn't have like the best PR in it. Vini's PR is, and he's a big name, so he was doing well. With Mbappe, you have to accommodate a lot for Mbappe. So when you've got 3 left wingers playing in the same team who all want to occupy the same left-hand side, there's no chemistry, there's no cohesion. 2 of them have to get sacrificed. What's going to happen? Rodrygo will leave, Vini will leave, Mbappe will be the left winger, and then that's what's going to happen. I don't see both of them surviving. I actually think Rodrygo.
You want to know something? One Vini. Let's stay on the topic of Savinho. And are you guys surprised that Tottenham are basically blocking the deal for Savinho? Let me go to you. What do you call it, Vader? Are you surprised that your club's blocking the deal?
No, listen. My club isn't necessarily blocking the deal. I know that's some of the verbiage, but if the right price was presented, then we'd be in the conversation. Right now, Daniel Levy, and we know how Daniel Levy likes to move. Spurs, they're moving on the cheap, right? They're moving on the cheap. They're lowballing. Rax is familiar with that with the whole Isak drama. They're lowballing right now. There's a certain evaluation that we want for Savinho. You meet that, the conversation can progress. Right now, they're way below value, and we're going to keep things going.
True. That's not true.
What's not true? That's not true. What's not true? What exactly is not true? What exactly is not true?
Let's talk the facts. Okay, there was a report that came out. I think it was from a very reliable source that reported you guys are shook that Savinho could be another Cole Palmer. A guy that he just throws to the walls and then starts to perform to a top level at another club.
Where did you hear this?
Palmer got City shook.
I'll find the source, but I swear to you, that was like a very legitimate source as to the reason why I was being stopped by a member of the City hierarchy.
So this legitimate source said that City are fearful of another Cole Palmer.
Pep's paranoia. Is that what you're saying? You're saying Pep's paranoid?
Savinho is with a H, correct?
Savinho's what?
Savinho has an H in it.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what. Yes,
Savinho.
Fabrizio reported this on the 19th of August, just 2 days ago. As of today, someone very important at Man City is blocking Savinho's move. Inside City, there's a feeling of not wanting another Cole Palmer situation, with belief Savinho to still develop into a top player at the Etihad. I will even send you the link. It's from one of your aggregators too.
Share your screen.
Vader, you ask for a source. Ahmed gives you Fabrizio fucking Romano.
Fabrizio. Yeah. Fabrizio quoting someone else.
There you go, mate. There you go.
Yeah. Now, what is also not true, as you present that, is if the price from Spurs was of 70, 80, which has kind of been rumored, Savinho, I'm sorry. We're going to have another Cole Palmer incident if that's the case. Because we bought this player for less than 20 mil. And he was at the club for one season. Every club, because now it's a football business. If you're going to have one player and you're going to flip them from 20 to near 80, I'm sorry, that deal's happening. We're in a reality of PSR. Again, my Newcastle brothers are struggling right now. They can't make the moves that they want to make because of PSR. In this age of PSR, we're flipping Savinho. I'm sorry. We're going to have to do it. But that did not come through from Spurs. I'm happy that we're going to hold on to him because I think it's a little harsh to lose a player after 1 year. I think that there's a player there. I definitely see some skill. If Ahmed can see a player in no disrespect in Jackson, I'm sure he can see a player in Savinho, and I need him at City.
That's why I agree. For me, I'm just gonna be honest with you, Vaya. I thought the Senegal.
I like the honesty, Ahmed.
I find that to be very crazy in my personal opinion, and that might be a crazy for me because listen, Pep may or may not be here for another year or two. God knows on that one, right? But at the same time, I do think Savinho is a quality player. To be just letting him go to the Wolves, it's a very crazy thing to me because I'm not seeing. Listen, in terms of wing depth, you lose Savinho, the only proper winger that you've got there, unless I'm like not remembering no one, is Doku. So it's like,
and he's trash as well. Doku.
Take it easy. Amen.
Take it easy on that one as well. Take it easy on that one.
Listen, Vita. Yeah, I'll be honest here. Savinho should be talked about.
Another honest Ahmed. I like it. Okay, go ahead.
Listen. Savinho should be talked about as one of the best wingers in the Premier League, but he's not being utilised properly at Man City. He's much better functioning on the left-hand side. He's got a great cross on him. He's great in 1v1 dribbling.
Kind of sounds like Rodrygo at Real Madrid.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know what I would do, you know what City should do if they actually want to like solidify, if they want to try and get this title, right? Savinho has to be the sacrifice. He goes to Tottenham. He plays on the left-hand side. Kudus plays on the right, and then they go get Rodrygo for Man City, and then that's the plan. That's what I would do if I was City.
Ahmed, and that's why I like your honesty, and that's why the evaluation is at that 70, 80 mil. Because if we have that as an outgoing, then we can flip that, put that money towards.
And he's a big game player as well.
Exactly.
All right. Let's speak about this though. In the case you don't get Rodrygo and Savinho stays, Rack, your team comes into play now. Your team's not interested in Rodrygo. Arsenal have gotten Eze. We're no longer in for Rodrygo like that.
Where are they getting the money from?
And the reports are if they don't get Isak, of course, Liverpool have been in contact with Rodrygo's agent, and Liverpool have entered the race for Real Madrid's Rodrygo, and the agent is currently was in the UK a couple days ago negotiating with Liverpool. Don't forget, interest in him started when Diaz left the club.
So let's. This is what has come out from a few different sources. There are lots of people who are not necessarily Rodrygo's direct agent. There are lots of people who have been granted authority to speak to third parties on behalf of Rodrygo. That doesn't necessarily mean they're his direct agent. They're basically just putting the feelers out there. They're doing some market research. They're seeing who may be interested. And
Rax, Rax, it's like when
generating expressions of interest.
Rax, it's like when your boy would pass the note saying, "Are you interested? Are you not?" Right? When you would pass that to the girl, that's like what they're doing right now.
So that's a very good analogy, Breda. Exactly.
I don't see that happening. By the way, like there's no way they've got a critique. There's no way they're going to try and get Isak.
No, but it could be a dominoes effect. That's all I'm saying. Like Jay's just joined. Jay, we're kind of speaking about if Savinho stays at City, could that mean Rodrygo ends up at Liverpool, for example?
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody is well. I am okay. Thank you for asking. Surviving, not thriving. Yes. Looking forward, not back. Yes. So I would prefer to talk about everything moving forward and nothing that's happened over the last 20 years.
No. We're gonna talk about the past in a second.
If everyone would respect my wishes, that would be swell.
That's not gonna happen. But
okay,
right now, we're gonna ask you: is Savinho gonna happen? Do you believe that's gonna happen?
Oh, listen, I was like, am I ready to get hurt again? I am a positive fan, so is it going to happen? I don't know. It's a tight one. I think there's logic to both sides. At this point, does City really want to bring in somebody else that needs to be integrated into the squad and the fee and things like that when they've got a player that they rate? On the flip side, will he push? Will he be okay? And then also it seems like Soriano is the one blocking it at the moment. So it's essentially, is that a block or is it we want like 70 million and we'll let him go? So to me, I don't know. I think Spurs are in a situation where I think we almost need to pay whatever it takes now. We've taken a couple of L's in the window. I think that's to City's advantage. And, if you're saying this is our guy, we have to go the extra mile this time. We just, so I think it gets done because I think with the state of how Spurs are at the moment, we've taken, like I said, a couple of L's on Gibbs White and Eze, which, I think it then puts us in a situation where we really want to be getting this over the line. But yeah, no, I think we do. I think we get the deal done.
And you know what? I think I would have to agree with Jay, because it's not something that's going to happen. Obviously, going into the Spurs City game, I think City would be foolish to want to lose a player going into that game and strengthen Spurs before that. But after, with the remaining window, if Spurs are serious to really want to continue to strengthen their squad, because they did miss out on a target that's now gone to a rival within London, and we know about the London turf wars, Jay and his crew are going to have to get some reinforcements. And if they're going to go and get Savinho, the price has got to be right. Whether we then go and get Rodrygo, I don't know. But for Savinho to leave, the money's got to be right. And right now it hasn't been.
Guys, on the last show, our good friend here below on the camera below me was bragging about the fact that they were going to get Eberechi Eze, and wow. I was saying congratulations, but at the same time, in my heart of hearts, I did not believe the deal was going to get done.
Damn.
And if you guys haven't seen the clip on Staffy's channel, I made the bold claim that he will still be an Arsenal player. And
if you guys haven't seen my viral clip, let me explain it.
Let me present you once again.
I'll play it for the people in the back of the room.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Just in case
you haven't seen it.
What else though about Eze and the whole Tottenham situation? Because it seems like he's agreed to join Tottenham.
I'm waiting. I'm sitting back. I'm not. I don't think he's a Tottenham player by the end of the winter.
You think he goes to Tottenham, or you think he comes to Arsenal?
I think Tottenham pay for his hotel to come to the Emirates. That was a cold line still. But yeah.
Doesn't really make sense. He lives in London.
it was a little bit of a.
You don't look too far into the actual. You know, the words don't need to make sense. Right?
Yeah.
They sound good enough. Close enough.
I meant to say something about a taxi, but it didn't come off. But it still sounded cold.
No, it was good. It was good.
So either way, it is.
Rax is just a hater.
But bringing it back quickly. There's been 24 hours of banter, and Jay, you've held a little bit of corn, but the reality of the situation is, we had the conversation on why he would join Arsenal over Spurs, and the main reason has always been his affiliation with the club.
Therapy. The reason is because the boy has abandonment issues from when he was younger, and he needs therapy.
He has an affiliation. He has an affiliation to Arsenal Football Club.
No,
he is an Arsenal fan.
He's saying this is closure.
Exactly. He needed this.
He is an Arsenal fan. He has affiliation with the club, and guess what? When the club came in for him, immediately he cut contact with Spurs, and he said the game done. And you know what the funniest part is? Arsenal. There's rumors that Arsenal were going to let him play today for Palace. He basically got a little bit of the cough and said, you know what? I don't think so. And next thing you know, he's basically getting ready for his medical tomorrow. And he's going to be an Arsenal player come Saturday. I think he might even, if he makes the deadline, which is lunchtime tomorrow, he could be in the team versus Leeds. I doubt it, but we'll see. Overall, though, the main point is the main lesson of today is when it comes to Arsenal and Spurs in this kind of situation, when we're both going for a player and all things are equal at this moment in time, I believe a player will pick Arsenal 9 times out of 10. And even if you're giving him more money, even if you're giving him a position to be one of the mainstays, even if he's coming to the team and he's not guaranteed a start, or he's
okay. Now you're taking the place. Now you're taking.
I believe the players coming to Arsenal.
I would have conceded where you were about 5 seconds ago. But then you went way too far.
And then shot fired. And then finally to the people who said, Egal, what are you talking about? He only wants to go to Arsenal because he's an academy boy. Hold that.
Well, I guess can I ask a question? Wait. Let's ask the real question. Let's ask the question to you, my brother Egal. Egal, do you think Eze is still an Arsenal player right now if Havertz's injury did not occur? Honest question.
Yes.
I've got 2 points, right? So you may be right, you may be wrong. We'll never know. What I don't understand really, and maybe you could argue it's a little bit of hindsight, is you've basically paid the release clause, right? So you were trying to get him on the cheap. You failed to get him on the cheap. So you're paying the release clause because basically Spurs had the offer agreed at the release clause price. So obviously you can't look back, you can't look forward into the future, but essentially you could have paid this price 2 months ago and got it done, and he would have been settled into the team. Now he's coming in when the season's already started, which is fine. You're signing him for 4 or 5 years, so bigger picture, but you tried to get him on the cheap, you didn't get him on the cheap.
But Rax, that leads to Ahmed's question on whether it would have been a deal done if it weren't for Havertz being injured. Why do this so late in the window?
We don't know. We don't know that. We don't know yes or no.
The reason why I say that, right? The only reason why I say that, right? Because obviously, remember, literally in the morning, also reports it, the Havertz stuff, and then it's literally not even like
the timing is uncanny. The timing is uncanny for sure. We just don't know for certain. It would be straight like we will. If in 2 or 3 days' time it turns out that Havertz has a knee injury and he's going to be out for the next 3 months, I think that gives it a lot more credence. If he's going to be out for the next 2 weeks,
this is what I've heard. I've heard Arsenal were always interested in Eze, and they're working on a deal for Eze since early August, late July. And as of the 10th of August, reportedly, there was a breakthrough, and that's when they cooled interest and they walked away from it to see what's going on and then to come back to it later. Then Tottenham got wind of Arsenal cooling interest, and then they took the risk of coming back into the deal, knowing full well that Arsenal were quite advanced in the deal with as they already agreed personal terms and have spoken with Parrish. So what did Parrish do? He agreed a deal with Daniel Levy and Tottenham, then came back to Arsenal, said this is the deal that's been agreed. Arsenal basically gave them a slightly better deal, and apparently we agreed on some terms that they didn't agree with on Tottenham's side, which was he could play in this game. And then eventually what happens is we end up paying slightly more, but he doesn't end up playing in today's game, and Tottenham end up losing out on the player. We end up paying similar to what the release clause was in the first place, yes, but the main reason why we did this is not only because of Havertz's injury, is because Josh Kroenke, the board members in Tim Lewis, and reportedly all the board members have agreed to greenlight it regardless of PSR concerns and no sales being done yet. And that is the main reason why we were waiting. We were trying to get sales. We don't have to sell to buy, but we were trying to make sales before we bought another player.
The thing is like, it doesn't, like, I guess it's one of those, like we say, we'll never know. Arsenal,
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, Arsenal got as a big signing for them. Like, for me, it's like, yeah, definitely puts them over the top in terms of like they were missing a little bit of X factor. They got a little bit of X factor now. So, I think he's got like 30 Prem goals, 29, I think, in the last 3 seasons, and that includes a decent chunk out with injury. So, you know, they're basically adding 10 Premier League goals. Yeah,
I think.
By the way, did you guys hear the cheeky news? We got Eze signed the contract in a room during a New Balance event yesterday. That's how the contract is.
I get it. Thanks. Obviously, listen, guy was on his knees.
Who wears New Balance? Who wears New Balance?
Him and Saka are both like New Balance sponsors.
Are they?
Listen, I know you. Listen, but what happened to all that Gyökeres hype died away quickly, isn't it?
No, bro. Don't deflect.
You mock Chelsea, but you turned into a dopamine fiend as well, you got.
No. Bro, you want to know something? This was the best. This was the best feeling for a transfer since Ozil, in my opinion. This was better than Aubameyang because of the context of taking Eze from Spurs, you turning it, and the emotional connection we already built with the player. Every game we play against Spurs now has an extra meaning with Eze.
Wait, did you say he's your best signing after Ozil?
No, emotion-wise, he's talking about as a feeling.
The fans, like the emotions, the connection to the signing, bro. You don't get it. 24 hours ago, he was going to Spurs, and it was the academy boy that we let down, and we let him go to our rival. And what happens 21 hours later? Not only is it that he's coming to Arsenal, he's coming to be the savior for an injury in Kai Havertz, and it seems like a guy who majority of the fan base.
The savior. I mean, you were refuting the fact that it was your savior.
What are you talking about?
A minute ago, you said that it had nothing to do with the Havertz injury. And
no, but I'm giving you the context of what happened in the time and how it's being portrayed. It went from Arsenal are down in the dumps. They lost another player through injury. They're always short. They gave Trossard a new deal. Everything is doom and gloom. Prepare yourself for another season where we've just come short. And then out of nowhere, Arsenal, Eze to Arsenal is a reality again. It's back on. Arsenal has accelerated talks with Eze. Arsenal have agreed personal terms with Eze. Arsenal have agreed with Palace. And then finally, here you go. Perfect timing for the sound effect. It was amazing. Everything, the stars aligned.
What is this low bit? What is this low bit rate sound effect you've got going on?
We couldn't believe our eyes. And you know something? You know something? I genuinely believe the day Ozil signed, I remember I was smiling for the next week, 2 weeks. Today when Eze
for 2 weeks.
Yeah, when Eze was announced yesterday, wallahi, all day till now, I had a pep in my step. I've been skipping around, singing, dancing.
Jay, do that thing again.
No, fair. No, fair.
No, but the thing is, I've actually got a take about this Eze thing. Are we going to go into it? Because I've got things to say.
Go on, man. Look it in.
Right, listen. I said this on Hussam's show, innit? Eze is a good player. He's a good player, right? And I rate him. The gal knows me, innit? No, I said he's a good player.
I feel like there's a massive book coming.
No, he's a good player, right? And I wanted him at Man United, so I'm going to keep the same energy. He's going to have some good games, yeah. But if you look at how, why is he laughing?
There's a book coming. There is no book coming.
No, but I just need to explain and people to understand, right? I just need to understand. So we can admit that how Arteta played 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, would you say that Arteta's football is completely different to how it is right now? I mean, like if you look at it right now, it's a lot more defensive. It's more pragmatic. Yeah. 2 years ago, it was a lot more free flowing. Players were more expressive, and they were more dynamic, and they were more attacking. They was blowing teams away. Yeah. Now they've gone around the defensive route. So Ødegaard, before his captaincy, was a very good player, right? He was creating, he was dribbling, he was dictating games. He was getting talked about as one of the best midfielders. Now he's got the captaincy. He's got all the responsibility. You've kind of like because you became more defensive, you're kind of restricting his role. Arsenal fans say Bukayo Saka doesn't take his man on. They say Ødegaard's not the same after the captaincy. They say, oh, our attacking is not looking good anymore. So my question is, right, since Arteta has changed his style of play, because obviously losing the title to Man City twice after playing attacking football, he's like, you know what, let me change it and go down the pragmatic route. So my thing is, Eze is someone who thrives when he's got freedom. He thrives when everything's going through him, innit? Mm-hmm. If you play him solely as a left winger, he's going to have some good games because good players, even if they don't fit in the right system, they'll have good moments. But if you want to maximize Eze, he has to play centrally. Now, when you look at Arsenal, they play with 2 number 8s. They play with Rice, and they play because Rice was bought as a 6, and then they realize, you know what, he's better as an 8. He's playing him with Ødegaard.
Can I pause you right now for 2 seconds to come back to this? Because Vader's got to go. Vader, what are you saying? You're facing your bogey team, Tottenham. What's your score prediction for that game before you go?
I mean, Jay's not even here for us to really have the back and forth. You cut off Ahmed when he was giving a good tactical breakdown, but
you gotta go.
I know.
I'm gonna stay for like 20 more minutes.
Oh no! Listen. Now, let's make sure that we revisit what Ahmed was saying. United Ahmed, not Chelsea Ahmed. Score prediction. I'm playing at home.
You're on mute, you know.
I'm playing at home.
I know. Yeah, I'm on camera. I know I'm on mute.
I'm playing at home. It's a debut.
Sorry, I forgot. I you know camera, so I forgot to see someone. My video. That's why.
Yeah, that's your producer. We know where you get your information from.
Yeah, that's it, man.
So Jay, in case you don't know, Vader's about to give his prediction for the City Tottenham game. We're gonna quickly skip through this because he's got to go. What are you saying?
Yeah. I like how Jay doesn't want to look backwards. He wants to look forward. So with this upcoming game, I think I've got a good chance to kind of like right the wrongs of Spurs being a bogey team with us. They had a great start, 3-0. We had a great start, 4-0. I don't see a clean sheet. Unfortunately, I don't see a clean sheet. I do see a difference though. There's no more in all seriousness. There's no Harry Kane and there's no Son. And Son's been such a problematic player for us ever since he's been there. He's been problematic, and we haven't been able to really get the consistency. But he's no longer there. There's also no Ange, although Brentford and this freaking Frank has given me problems as well while at City. I'm going to go with a safe, conservative 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1. I can't help but see Richarlison and Kudos coming up with some type of partnership and getting a goal. I think something, and Kudos has been hurting us even prior to joining, so I think something's going to happen there. But I think we edge this one out. We get a 2-1 victory, and we move. I'm gonna take that and run. I got to keep pace. I know Liverpool are playing on Monday, but I got to keep pace because I'm kind of expecting Liverpool to get that win. They're gonna have a lot of emotion playing against Newcastle. So let me get this 2-1 and try to keep pace with Liverpool for the season.
Jay, what are you saying before Vader goes? You think you're gonna get a result?
Yeah, tricky game to gauge because, but I think we'll be good in this game. The PSG game is giving me confidence for this game.
Gives me worry.
Yeah. So Frank will have something. I think we'll probably rock up with a back three, and Look to play on the counter. City's defense has got pace issues. So depending on how high they play, we can get at them. I think I was gonna go 2-1 the other way, but maybe like late goal equalizer either way. So I think maybe.
Yeah, Jay, don't get me wrong. I could see a draw, but
yeah, that's what. Yeah, same. I can see a draw. The thing with both Spurs' and City's first game is I don't know how good the opposition were for both teams. I don't know how good Burnley are relative to the league, and I don't know how good Wolves are because they declined a lot towards the end of last season. So I think a draw is a safe bet, but I don't know. I think Spurs, we do well. At City, we went there, we won 4-0 last year. Frank, he sets up well against City.
I think it's the most entertaining game.
I don't know
of the
why
weekend.
you're speaking at 0.5 speed. You can speak.
It's going to be the most. It's going to be the most entertaining game of the weekend. It's going to be the most entertaining game of the weekend.
Guys, if you want to hear Jay at normal speed, put it at 1.5.
Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, no, but it's because this Eze dopamine has you bouncing off the wall. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything.
Jay doesn't know what to say. He's usually.
What do you mean? I'm happy 2-1, 2-2. Like I think either's viable.
All right. Okay, Ahmed, what are you saying? Score prediction.
You know what? I'm gonna say a cheeky 3-1 City. You know why I say that? Listen, 12:30 kickoffs, man. They usually produce a really, really, really boring result, or it's always like something crazy just happens, and I mean, it's always like a bit. It's either like that one of the teams gets thumped really badly, or like it just ends like a dreadful 0-0, like we saw like Newcastle, Aston Villa. So I really think City's are going to be at home. It's going to be a bit more. I think is this your first home game, correct, as well?
Yeah.
Your team's a lot of people are going to be up for it.
Yeah.
When you're coming away somewhere and it's not maybe even in your local area, it's always tough for you, man. 12:30 in the morning, so in the afternoon, I should say, it's a bit difficult. So I think for me, honestly, it's going to be 3-1 City.
3-1, not bad. Not mad at that.
Yes.
Not mad at that.
Ahmed, what are you saying? United, Ahmed.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a close game because Tottenham, when I look at City's attack and midfield, it's solid. Defensively, I think Tottenham can actually do something with Kudos. They've got a very compact team. This Tottenham team is not going to be easy to break down.
No.
It's not going to be easy to break down. So it's going to take some individual brilliance from Man City's attack to do something. So I do think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to say 2-1 City.
And Rack, before Vader has to go, what's your score prediction?
I think Jay put it quite well. Like it's difficult to gauge exactly where both teams are based on their first results because we don't know how good the opposition will be. There's not enough, not enough proof to back any particular opinion. So, and I said, I will give in terms of the quality of City and where I think they're going to be. I'll make a determination after the first 10 games or so. So this is potentially a banana skin because they've got a good recent history of playing against City, even away from home. And if Thomas Frank can set up in an organised manner, I think they can give City some difficulties. They've got decent attacking players, Spurs. I say City are clear favourites, but
Clear.
But 12:30 kickoffs sometimes can spring a surprise or two. I'm gonna say, go on. I'll say it's gonna be a draw, just because everybody else has said City win.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a 1-1 draw also.
Yeah, that's what you guys want. We know. That's what you want.
Yeah. Complete self-interest.
Go prove us wrong. Go prove us wrong.
Absolutely.
Later though, you have a good one. I'll catch you on Sunday if you're around.
Absolutely. I'm predicting y'all play Leeds. Arsenal beat Leeds.
Yeah.
Liverpool, Newcastle. I'm seeing a draw myself. I'm seeing a draw in that game.
Oh, you mean you want to draw? You mean you want to draw? Self-interest.
Chelsea, West Ham.
Chelsea, West Ham.
I see you, man. I see you.
Right,
Letting y'all hold the show, right?
Then Man United Fulham.
That's a win. That's a win. United fans get giddy. Amarin I'm still hammering out. Ahmed United. I'm hammering out for you. I'm supporting you. Ahmed.
Yeah, bum that
Hammering
guy,
out.
bro. Forget, bum that guy.
Hammering out.
I don't like.
But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
All right.
Big up
He's
here.
only saying that because he thinks he's actually good. But yeah, let's go to the actually. Do you guys want to stay back on Eze for a bit, or do you want to just move on? What are you guys saying?
I think yeah, I don't mind actually. Yeah.
Because you were about to cook something. What were you saying? Like,
Yeah, bro. What I was about to say, yeah. I see, bro. When I'm warming, bro, I'm warming in. I can't remember where I left off now. The thing is, Arsenal in 22-23, and then the year after that. So when you came second, you lost 2 points behind Man City. You was really attacking. You was blowing teams away.
Ahmed's loving it.
Yeah. Man like Ahmed, look at him, proper Chelsea. Listen, anyway, Man City with Arsenal, like there was the football that they played after they finished fifth. So the season after that and the season after that, they were playing a completely different brand of football. They was getting the best out of Ødegaard. Saka was more expressive. He was taking on his man. Martinelli even looked more direct. Ødegaard was at the centerpiece. He was dictating games. He was creating. Everything was looking nice. They just finished. They just lacked that killer in that team to make something out of nothing. Now, because you lose the title to Man City twice in a row and a few points off, I personally believe he changed his style completely. Hence why he bought so many defenders. He emphasized a lot more in defense, right? So because he's emphasized too much in defense, I feel like he's kind of neglected the attack, and he's told his wingers to support the fullbacks as well. So that's why you guys are very difficult to break down. You're Arteta right now is a defensive manager, in it. The way how you guys play, it's more pragmatic. That's why you beat us on your. That's why you beat us the other day. You guys are very difficult to break down, like in general, very difficult to break down. You're not this attacking team like you used to. Now, when I look at your players like Saka, Ødegaard, they're not the same on how they used to play 2 seasons ago. When I look at Eze, I see him for Palace, bro. That guy's got all the freedom in the world. He does really well. He skips past players. He gets the ball from the halfway line and does his magic there, and he's linking with midfielders and attackers. Now, I believe if you play him solely as a left winger, yeah, he'll have some good games because he's got a good shot on him and he can ball carry. But I don't think you're getting the best out of him if you play him there, and he's not really going to occupy Ødegaard's position and Declan Rice because that's where they're going to play. Okay. So
the way I'm going to put it, actually,
does that make sense? Does that make sense?
If your point is how is Eddie going to play? Just wait and see before you jump to conclusions and start assuming.
No, but that's just boring.
That was on smoke, man.
He's allowed to predict. He's doing an analysis and he's putting forward. He's postulating something. We can always just say, let's just
because
you stream.
Let's
forget about predictions. Forget about predictions. Let's just talk on side.
Reckon Ahmed. Yeah. You can admit that Arsenal's more defensive. Yeah, you guys
have been.
I think that's
you've been more defensive. Do Arsenal fans not say why is Saka not taking on his man like he used to? Why is Ødegaard more restrict? Like he's a lot more passive. He's a lot more pass side to side. There's no player that's allowed. It seems everyone's restricted in that system and they're not allowed to express themselves. And what I'm telling you, yeah, Eze, the best of Eze is when he's allowed to express. Yeah, bro. He
has an open canvas on the left flank.
Yeah, but he's got an open canvas here. But like, you can say that, but he's still gonna drift inside. He's
gonna be drifting in centrally, 100%.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say to you, yeah, is that he's still gonna have a responsibility to defend as well, to help out the left back. He's not gonna just drift. Says your manager.
We'll see.
I have a question. I have a totally different question, Ahmed. I have a totally different question in terms of, I'd say, I know you guys are probably going to say we're going to see, right? But I do think, listen, sometimes when you obviously go from a team where you're like the main guy, you're like where the creation is coming from, the playmaking essentially is coming from, and everything of the sort, the vast majority of the time, you've now joined Arsenal. I don't think he's going to get as much as the ball probably as he did, obviously, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
So I think it's a fair comment to say. So obviously, I think with me, it's going to be maybe it might take him a little bit of time, obviously, to get used to, having less touches of the ball, making use of the ball that he has, the time that he has the ball, because he's also got Saka there now. He's probably going to also, we've known that Arsenal are very ball dominant, particularly on his side of the field, right? With him, Ødegaard, and then who's the other guy, right? So he's gonna have to also accept that at times he's not going to be able to do to be as effective on the ball. Whereas he may be a bit more effective off the ball in terms of his movement, maybe late arrivals to the box and stuff like that. In terms of like what he needs to do as well, of course.
I'm not saying he's going to flop here. Like just to make, I'm not saying he's going to flop, right?
I agree with that.
I personally just believe, that if you play him on the left-hand side as a winger, because he rarely goes on the outside, and he is going to drift, but all of his best moments at Palace and all of his goals and all of his link-up is literally in the middle, like in the center of the pitch. He's a danger in the box. He's a danger in the box. Like
Alexis Sanchez was playing as a left winger for Arsenal, and he was very central. Bukayo Saka plays more wide. Don't get me wrong, but even when Trossard is playing at a left wing, he's very central. Don't forget, we do have players who play different molds. Jesus has played out wide, and he's also occupied central areas. I hear you, Ahmed, but I do think before we start worrying about tactical issues, we have to at least let these guys land.
I'm not saying he can't land.
I feel like with Arsenal right now, there is unknowns around what we're gonna do and how we're gonna play. So let's just see before I start.
I'm not ruling them off
to the conclusion that.
One thing I will say, sorry,
I'm not ruling them off. And
one
that's
thing I'm gonna
incorrect.
Yeah, sorry, Igal. I'm just gonna say something. It's gonna be very interesting. I know Raka is gonna be very interested before the international break, the last week of August next week. Liverpool, Arsenal. Will it be?
That's gonna be his debut.
That probably is going to be his debut, right? So I think for me, there's no better debut to see what you're going to be made of than in a big, essentially what could be a title game already so far. Like,
someone here says, if Eze loves Arsenal, why would he agree to signing with Spurs? Well,
footballers have to be professionals, right? Because maybe Arsenal wouldn't come in for him. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, I'm a Liverpool fan. I dislike Manchester United immensely. If I was a professional footballer, I would 100% sign for Manchester United if they came looking for me. If they came looking for me and Liverpool were interested for me as well, then I'd go to Liverpool. But as a professional, you need to go who's going to pay you money and where you think you're going to get success.
Ancho was a Chelsea fan and joined Man United.
Yeah, of course.
So it doesn't mean anything just because, like.
All right. Yeah. Let me just get to this comment here. Eze is not Odegaard's replacement. They're going to play together. The best Arsenal will have room for both Odegaard and Eze in the team, in my opinion.
I guess what I'm going to see. Go ahead.
The one thing I'll say is that bringing Eze in now gives Arsenal 6 attackers in that front 3 or front 4, depending on how they're going to play. They now have 6 players, right? They got Trossard, Martinelli, Odegaard, Eze, Saka, and Gyökeres. And if you want to talk about Ethan and these guys, sure, you can bring them into that conversation as well. But let's just say the established players. As a 6, if you've got 6 very good players, I think they're strong now in that position, at the very least in terms of numbers. Quality, we will see. We will see. We will ultimately see where the quality is. Time will tell the gal how good Gyökeres is.
I was speaking to Jay. He was saying he feels like we have too many players.
How good Eze can be at a top club when the pressure's on. I think Eze, because he's played the Premiership and he's done well, I think I have less doubts about him than I do, for example, Gyökeres. The good thing Gyökeres has going in his favour is he has a collection of people around him who are Premier League proven, who've done well, and even if he's not scoring at an incredible rate, Arsenal also have a decent defence. So ultimately, it just means that Arsenal have now completed their front 6, and you're right, Gal. Time will tell. How good are they? How good are they?
I was speaking to Jay on the phone earlier, and he was basically saying, if I'm not mistaken, Jay, we might have too many players, and that's going to be another challenge.
Yeah, I said Arsenal have a lot of players now, a lot of options. If you consider like Jesus to come back at some point too, like Havertz, Gyökeres, Trossard, Martinelli, Madueke, and Eze.
Oh, Madueke, yeah, 7. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot about Madueke.
Yeah, and then obviously Ethan needs meaningful minutes in his progression. Dalman's not an issue at the moment, but Saka too. So it's a nice problem to have. They've got a really strong squad, and this is the point I was trying to make about Liverpool before. I was like if I was playing Football Manager, I would not have done what Liverpool have done this summer. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of turnover.
Let's talk about it.
I'm looking at it from the point of view of like Arsenal now have got
no more. Let's see. Let's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's also as well, Arsenal has spent.
Are you saying Arsenal are favorites?
Arsenal, if you look at it, like Gyökeres, Madueke, Eze, Zubimendi, like those 4 alone is like 200 and something, 220 or something. And then you've obviously got as well all the little signings like Mosquera and stuff. So they've not sold either. Like all the other teams that have spent that kind of money, they've made a lot of money in sales. So Arsenal just have spent. So good squad, good manager. You know, like there's no excuse. There's no, and that, but Arsenal fans, Arsenal should be like confident. I mean, yeah, they've got. I think Eze is a bigger signing than the Gyökeres. I can't lie. It's like it to me. It's like it's got that. It just gives them another shooter. Do you know what I mean? It gives, like, even if you think about Arsenal, like edge of the box shooting. Do you know what I mean? They got Ethan, but Odegaard doesn't really do it that much. Saka not so much. Martinelli no. Trossard. So they've got someone edge of the box. Ball drops to him. You're like, oh shit. Do you know what I mean? Like he's something like that. He's definitely got that Jota to Liverpool feel to it. You know, when somebody comes in and they just slide straight in. But yeah, no, 10 out of 10. I think Arsenal's window is probably like 9 out of 10 or something. That 10 out of 10, like very, very good window now for them. So yeah.
Yeah. I was speaking to Lee yesterday. He said 5. I'm like, bro, you don't believe that.
No, it's definitely 9. It's 100%. It's whether or not you're a real snob and you want 10. Like, you know, maybe you would have wanted
that 9's a bit high though.
Not at all.
Hey, let's go to this. Gunners will always find excuses.
If you think about it, Gyökeres, Mosquera, like,
can I say this right now? I said there's no excuses before we signed Eze. Now that we've signed Eze, I believe we are the favorites currently as constructed.
All right. That listen,
but
if you're a Liverpool fan, you should like that.
But Liverpool can change that, and this is where I want to segue to Isak. You guys seen what Isak did this couple of days ago? The whole the whole Instagram post and everything. Do you guys think Isak to Liverpool will happen now, or do you honestly believe Newcastle will let him rot in the reserves?
He won't let him run the reserves. Let's be realistic about it. Like the main reason why I say that, and this is not me being like biased or anything, is that his value is too much for them to allow him to like rot there. If that makes sense, like if they let him rot there, they're also hurting themselves as a team essentially. And so if they have to find some level of a solution, whether that be sell him on or whether that be obviously move him on, or whether or not to actually just keep him there and then maybe, you know, try to work out something where he plays for them. It's just not a viable solution for them just to keep him in the under 21s or that.
No, but they might not get Wesa if Wesa goes to Spurs.
I don't know if you saw, they're apparently closing on getting Strand Larson right now for Wolves.
Ooh, that's a good signing.
For 60 million, and that's a very good signing, by the way. Again, that's actually.
But then Wolves are going to get relegated. What the hell?
Well, we all knew that was going to happen this season. I mean, time's been ticking on them for quite a little bit of time now.
All right, so they've confirmed themselves as a relegation team.
So for me,
I watched the City Wolves game last week, and Wolves were shocking, and I barely recognised any of their team. Like, it was crazy.
They're a shell of their former self.
For me, the thing that surprised me about Liverpool is that I haven't seen any bid going from Liverpool this week, because obviously next week's the final week of August, right? So I was thinking this week there might be a bit more of a push now from Liverpool just to try to get this deal sorted out, in my personal opinion. Or maybe
could they be waiting because they play each other? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think
no. Yeah, no, it's all right, bro. That also
I don't think so, because even if they were to do they could easily just do an agreement, right, and say
after the game,
but he doesn't play. They could do it. They could do a deal today. Say part of the deal is he doesn't play against us. That's not make or break anything, right?
No, but it's a home game for Newcastle versus Liverpool. Yeah. Do they really want to sell Isak to Liverpool before that game?
So, but that's they can do all that. I don't think this game makes that much of a difference in the bigger picture.
I agree.
It kind of
apart-
does to the fans because it's going to be heated. It's going to be a bloodbath.
It's going to be heated anyway, right? If we're not selling, it's heated now. Is it? I mean, maybe it will get more heated, but he's not. You know, I'm not thinking about the Monday's game. Look, ultimately, I think the idea is we want Newcastle to come to us and say, okay, we're willing to negotiate for a deal. That's what's being put out there.
Yeah. Before you go,
I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one because obviously, someone would argue that's a bit of a humiliation, but ultimately, when 130 odd million pounds is on the line, maybe you just have to and if things aren't working out, you just ultimately have to. Both sides, to some extent, may have to swallow their pride a little bit and say, you know what, let's just.
I wanted to speak about Isak. Yeah, I want to speak specifically about Isak here. Isak himself and a lot of these players that we keep on hearing about for the last 5 to 6 years. We've had a gentleman's agreement, guys. You know, we had a gentleman's agreement about X, Y, Z. And we just realize there's no loyalty in football, right? Let's just realize that firstly. And secondly, guys, if you want agreements to happen, if you've been made prophecies, the one thing I always say, get it in writing, bro. Get it in writing. For me, one of my biggest problems I always have here with these players, when I'm hearing them, it's a gentleman's agreement. You know, I have good faith on X side, I have good faith on Y side. That's not gonna happen in football, bro. This is not how football works. You see the amount of money people go for certain transfer values, right? And so my problem always is, if you want something done, get it down in writing, confirmed by both sides, such that if stuff is broken, if stuff is broken, at least from your side, from your point of view, you have an agreement there done in writing that cannot be, obviously lied to you, if that makes sense. So for me, that's the one thing I always say about some of these players, bro. Get your stuff done in writing and confirmed, bro. That's what I will say to them.
Newcastle have a vested interest in trying to not waste the asset, but at the same time, the player has to figure out what he's going to do. If it gets to a point where Liverpool will walk away because they don't have enough time to do, and they're going to have to do other business, we'll have to wait and see. At this moment in time, I believe Isak will still be a Liverpool player come the end of the transfer window, and I think Newcastle will sell. They just need to get a replacement in. And if they don't get a replacement in before the window closes, this could go down to the deadline, and it will be really, really intense. And maybe he ends up in Turkey, and that's the solution. But I don't think, but that would be an extreme, like Victor Osimhen's situation.
The problem is that Isak is 26, right?
Yes.
So next season he'll be 27, and I
Yeah.
think this is part of the reason why he's pushing so hard now. Aside from the fact that all the other stuff that's gone on, and maybe he's promised a pay rise and all that kind of stuff, is I think clubs are more conscious at the moment about buying players over a certain age. Like some players, depending on the circumstance, like Arsenal, for example, they will spend the money on Gyökeres, but when he turns 27, I don't think we'll be interested in him next summer, because I think that may be one season too late, unless it's for significant less, unless it's for like maybe 90 million or 80 million or something like that. Because every year of every extra year is a year of the player's prime that you're losing.
Exactly.
And that could be the difference between an extra Champions League, an extra Premier League, or a double or something like that. So,
but Liverpool are banking a lot on this Isak deal happening.
Maybe I don't know what else they've got lined up. Maybe they are.
See,
maybe they've got some kind of backup
my
line. I'd be surprised if there wasn't a backup lined up, because Salah is going to the AFCON in January. So I'd be surprised if we don't have a backup lined up either for now or for January if this doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen, so
yeah, I was gonna say, like, for me with Liverpool, looking at what they've done with the Isak situation, is it's really interesting whether or not he would play left or Ekitike would play left if he came in. Do you know what I mean? Which it sounds crazy that a 20+ goal a year striker is going to play left wing. Doesn't really make sense. But then you can make the argument that Ekitike could be a 20 goal a year striker if he played down the middle too. So with Liverpool.
But Jay, is he playing left wing, or is he like, as Igal mentioned how Eze is being used, is he just playing off the left wing, or is he going to get? I'm just making the argument.
I get it, but at this moment in time, right? You had obviously RIP, but you had Jota, Diaz, Nunes, and currently you've got Wirtz and Ekitike. So you've got to say that I'd say you were weaker. You can
maybe, but how many minutes? How many minutes?
Overall, are you weaker?
How many minutes did Nunes play?
Now, but
how effective was he in those minutes?
Yeah,
I think we'll get double the effective minutes at the minimum from Ekitike, for example.
Right, but
Jota was out for a big portion of last season for injury. So, but I agree. I would like more numbers to feel more comfortable. To be fair, I agree with that.
Okay, interesting. I feel like I get it, but it's almost like, remember, like last season, you had Nunes who was playing a bit like
Nunes.
I rate Diaz very highly because I think I compare him to what the market's saying. I don't necessarily compare him purely off the player. So I'm like, the number of Diaz level wingers, I don't think that people would be surprised that there's not that many out there. There's potential, but there's not that many who are saying like, So I feel like maybe you are right. Maybe it's a numbers thing. But Nunes had a lot of effectiveness. It was mainly his finishing. So that's his all-round game in the main was pretty good. Added value, decent times to Liverpool. So I mean, Jota didn't have the best season last season, to be fair. So you could make the argument you're a little bit better, but I
would like more numbers, because ultimately, if you're adding Jota's numbers and Nunes' numbers together and all that kind of stuff, sure, you may end up with an equal amount of minutes played, but all it takes is for one injury to cause, and then you have an issue.
What's the thing about Gakpo, like in terms of?
I like Gakpo.
Obviously, he's been playing great football for nearly a year now. But I'm saying in terms of his fitness and stuff, is he a pretty fit guy? Like, does he?
Yeah, he's pretty robust. That's the good thing. I think all of our players at the moment are robust.
Guys, 1 second. Ahmed's got to go. Let him just give us his predictions quickly. Run us through the predictions, bro.
Obviously, I think Liverpool probably beat Newcastle 2-0 in my personal opinion. I've got Arsenal beating Leeds 1-0. I think it'll be
more than one. Come on.
No, I watched the Leeds vs Everton game, and I'll be honest, Leeds look very good. They look
physical. They're very physical team.
Right. So
we're one of the most.
I'm not trying to disrespect Arsenal, but I'm also not trying to disrespect Leeds in the sense that I think Leeds is also.
We'll pump them 3-0.
I think United Fulham is going to be very competitive. I think they'll end 1-1. I just think United didn't have the shooting boots on against Arsenal, and that's the only reason why I don't think they'll just see it through against Fulham. That's the only reason why. That's not even me trying to obviously do the little gimmick of hating United and stuff like that. I think tomorrow for Chelsea, we'll get back on track. I think we'll beat them 2-0.
Are you concerned about your attack?
No. I think this is the first game of the season yet, and also we've already come back quite recently from pre-season training, so there's always going to be this level of drop off to begin at the start of the season. I feel we'll ease into it a bit.
Fair. All right, bro. Have a good one.
Can I just so there's a guy in the chat, antagonizing Geordie, mentioned something about PIF won't budge and won't cave into players' demands and stuff like that. I don't think that's an unreasonable shout, but ultimately, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, saying we're not going to budge and all this kind of stuff. I think that's possible. PIF don't need money, but ultimately, is that the best thing for the club? It may be, because then you can always say, if this ever happens with a player again, you can always play the card, say Newcastle won't budge, we won't budge. Players, you're going to have to play second fiddle to what we say. You sign a contract, and I think that's totally legitimate. But then there's also going to be players who may refrain from signing for Newcastle because Newcastle are a great club. They've got a great fan base and all that kind of stuff. But some players may see them as being, I don't want to say saying they're a stepping stone club is a little bit disrespectful, but they may not see Newcastle as the ultimate destination, shall we say. And then if you're trying to hold those kind of players to ransom, again, I don't want to, that's maybe a little bit melodramatic, but players will want to see that there's a way out of that club if they earn it. And if you're literally letting someone like that rot in your reserves, that's also probably not a good look. Like ultimately, what is the best thing for the club? And some fans will say let him rot in the reserves, and that's fine. But then you're paying out his salary or whatever, and you haven't got a striker. What happens if that is a difference between you getting Champions League and not getting Champions League next season? That's the difference of £100 million.
And it also, it's not just about Newcastle. Newcastle's targets also need their clubs to have time to get replacements also. Brentford are concerned they won't have time to get a replacement for Wesa. Newcastle's concerned they won't have time to get a replacement for Isak. And Liverpool is the only one here who doesn't need to get, who's ready to trigger everything, but they are waiting for Newcastle.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think it's an easy. Newcastle aren't in a good, easy situation. Brentford aren't in an easy situation. Even Liverpool, to some extent, even though we're potentially interested in paying the money, it messes with our plans a little bit in the sense that we're interested in buying, but unless we get any encouragement, we're not going to bid. At what point do we decide, you know what, we're going to walk away and we're going to try and do something?
There's 10 more days. 10 more days.
So time is limited. Like, it's not an easy situation.
Hey, right now, it's interesting because Liverpool are still title favorites, but if you don't get Isak, could that shift people's mind? We'll have to wait and see. And what would Liverpool do to bounce back? Because there's no way Liverpool are going to end the window without signing more attackers.
I think we need to bring in. If we don't bring in Isak, then we need to bring in another attacker. I think just for numbers sake.
Yeah, probably Fofana or somebody. But yeah, quickly let's go through the games, guys. Ahmed, Jay, if you're there, let's go through the games.
Let's go.
Chelsea game first. What are we saying for the Chelsea game? What are we saying for the predictions for the Chelsea? You know what? Newcastle, Liverpool, quickly. What are we saying? Newcastle, Liverpool.
Liverpool, Newcastle. That's going to be a Liverpool dub.
Nah, you know what? Yeah, like Newcastle are going to be differently up for this game. Differently.
And you see, there were pictures of what's his name, Joe Linton, like.
Oh my god, bro! Like, honestly, yeah. Like,
what did Joe Linton do
on a Monday night?
Posting pictures of Monday night and Joe Linton's there growling at the camera, like.
Bro, listen, Monday night. Obviously, all those Newcastle, like they got a grudge against Liverpool too. They think you're tapping up their striker. Crowd will be bang up for it. St. James's Park under the lights. Horrible fixture. Horrible fixture.
They're hyping it up.
He's like, yeah, let's fucking have it.
Oh my god.
Newcastle,
what are you saying, Jay? What's the score?
I do not think Newcastle are losing this game. Like, are they going to win it? Maybe, but they're not going to lose it.
You know why I think they're going to lose, Jay? Bruno Guimaraes dyed his hair. Nothing good ever happens when your best players dye their hair.
Yeah, like I just feel like this game will mean a lot to Newcastle. Like, as in, like, they will not want. And the funniest thing is that, like, this is the sort of game where Liverpool might look at their bench and they might be like, okay, we're lacking a little something here. Because in previous times, well, I remember when they went to Newcastle before, the bench was like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? They had so many options. This time, I know Chiesa, maybe he can do something. You know, Elliott. So it's just they probably need another attacker. And you look at Newcastle, they're lacking Isak, so they need an attacker. You know, it's almost like I feel like Liverpool, if they go into this game, they can win this game. Like, but I feel like they'd have to maybe sit off a little bit, maybe try and counter a bit more. I don't know if they want to get into a running race with like Elanga and Gordon and then man, do you know what I mean? I don't know how high you want to play. You know, yeah, set pieces, Gordon, Elanga on the counter. That, you know, Barnes maybe. I think is Barnes fit? I think Barnes is fit. Or Jacob Ramsey, he should be ready for his debut. Yeah, I mean, maybe 1-1, 2-1. Maybe Liverpool can score. Interesting game, man. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with the draw.
Fair.
Nah, bro. Liverpool got too much. Bro, they got too much quality in the attack. Works like Atiki and these guys. They're gonna. Bro, Newcastle are overrated, man. They're not. They're gonna do this fake alpha nonsense in it, bro. But I'll be so honest, bro. Do you get what I'm saying, yeah, bro? Newcastle, yeah, bro. For me to say this, yeah, I don't even like Liverpool, yeah, but what Newcastle are doing, it's cringing. It. Let your guy go. You're not a big club, yeah, and you're gonna lose out to your best player in it. They literally, like, when people join Newcastle, if you're a serious player, you're a stepping stone club. That's why he wants to leave in his prime years. Do you get it? So just let him go. They're gonna lose, and if they get some points, then it's a win-win for me. That's pretty much it. But I still believe Liverpool will beat them, bro. Like, where's the threat gonna come from Newcastle? Like, what in the attack? Who's gonna play in the attack? What? Elanga? Do me a favor, man. Come on.
Gordon probably, isn't it?
I think Crunk King has mentioned something. Newcastle is going to be too emotional. I think that could be something that, because they're going to look. Newcastle fans feel proper disrespected, right? They feel like everybody's laughing at them. First of all, they heard this last transfer window, and second of all, we're trying to nick their best player. They feel disrespected, and they are out for blood. But the problem comes if we get a goal, or we weather the storm in the first half and go 1-0 up or something like that. It's the kind of thing that emotion takes its toll.
Rack.
And if it goes wrong, then it could go very wrong for them. I think we'll win. I think we'll win, and it'll be 2-0. But
are you going to be scared of a guy in school that gets constantly bullied, and just because he said, "I'm not going to take this anymore," you're still not going to be scared? Did you get it? So, like, at the end of the day, they're not going to, like. Yeah, I don't see them winning this game. I'll be so real. I really don't see them. Joe Linton and all these guys, bro. Nah, bro. Nah.
Yeah, that's why I'm leaning more to the draw. I feel like I don't know if Newcastle will have enough without Isak to get the win, but I just feel like they're just going to turn this into a fight.
Or trying to injure their players. What? Do a Pickford on it or something? They're trying.
No, more just in terms of like that level, like. In this game, like that level of intensity that Newcastle can bring, you know, if Liverpool, I don't know how fit Gravenberch is. I think, is he fit now?
I think so.
I mean, it's one of those, like, do you want to bring him back first game, St. James's Park? Like, hell of a game back, but you need it because the thing is Wirtz, this is a sort of game where Wirtz can, like, run the show, or people will be writing, like, pieces like, oh man, he needs to get up to speed with the intensity. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's the Prem is a first impression league. You know, Liverpool, and I think the comments are right. You know, Liverpool have a lot of quality. If players like Wirtz, Salah be stamping their authority on this game, you know, Liverpool could, you know, win quite comfortably. But then if you let Newcastle play transition ball against you, you know, it could be another one of those crazy 3-3s. You know, looking at it, maybe Liverpool should have too much for them from a quality point of view. But now we're going to look at, like, how's the team looking? How are they gelling? How are you defending together? Things like that. And who's playing right back?
Who knows?
Yeah, that's
right
gonna
now,
be interesting.
I'm going to just go Liverpool win 2-1. Liverpool find a way. They just always find a way. So I'm not going to bet against them. Mo Salah's guaranteed one goal as soon as he's on the pitch. Newcastle is at home. They maybe get a goal, and the second goal is just going to be sheer will. Maybe their new signing gets off the goal sheet and gets them the winner. We'll see. But right now, I just think until Liverpool prove to be a team that might struggle away from home in these tight games, I just back them to win it. So yeah, it's early in the season. They don't forget their habits from last year so quickly. But yeah, that's just me. Moving on to the next game. What's the next game? Arsenal Leeds. What are you guys saying? I think Arsenal beat Leeds 3-0 comfortable.
Yeah, Leeds are trash, man. They're trash. They're gonna get.
They looked okay against Everton, but I don't think Everton were up to much. I think
Gyökeres only scores against these games, right, Jay? So he's gonna.
Yeah, I'm expecting goals for Gyökeres in this game. If he doesn't score in this game, that's when you start getting worried, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so it's like this is a kind of flat track bully game that I expect. Leeds aren't good enough.
By the way, if he only scores against the bottom half of the table and we win the league, should I care?
No, that's why it's relative to ask when I say is Gyökeres going to be a success, qualifying what a success looks like this season for you before you answer the question makes sense. I think Arsenal should win this fairly comfortably. I didn't see enough from Leeds in match week 1. Like they still seem the same naive team to me that went down a couple of years ago. I don't think
defensively, bro, they're so.
Sheffield United looked the most impressive to stay up, most likely.
Sunderland.
I mean Sunderland, yeah. I don't know. I said Sheffield.
But what Burnley actually looks all right against Spurs. They created a decent amount, and
but once the floodgates opened, it was done.
But we were doing like set pieces. Remember, we were doing like set piece, like nice movement. Richie scored a bit of a worldie. I wouldn't be surprised to see Burnley get a couple of decent results because they played quite well. But yeah, Arsenal maybe looking at I can't see them scoring. Their defense is not I don't know what they're gonna do to try and stop you. But yeah, I can see maybe like a 3-0.
First game at the Emirates.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Sorry, were you not done, Jay?
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Rack, what are you saying? Score prediction, and then we're gonna move on to Fulham Man United.
I mean, I think a few people I know that have mentioned it. The way that Leeds have recruited, they just gone for size, right? They've recruited a lot of big, physically imposing people, let's see where it goes. I think it's a little bit early. They had Everton had a couple of moments against them, but generally speaking, I think they looked okay against Everton. But I think going to the Emirates is a different story. I think they'll win 3. I think Arsenal win 3-0.
I'm gonna say, I'm probably gonna say 3. I'll say 3-0 Arsenal. I think this is.
What's your score prediction for your game then?
Against Fulham, we don't really score that many goals against Fulham. The last 2 head-to-head games we played, they knocked us out. We beat them 1-0. So I'm gonna go.
You scammed them, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, look at this guy. I'm gonna say because we've got better players. I'm just relying purely on the quality that we just have. I would say 2-1 United. 2-1 United.
Cunha and Mbeumo both get their debut goals, eh?
Yeah, hopefully it'll be nice to see, especially Cunha. He's the one to look out for. I'm only watching United because of him and Diallo. To be fair, bro.
By the way, you know how you talk shit about Saka and Salah about only scoring goals and not really doing much. That's your boy Mbeumo, eh?
Yeah, and Mbeumo, I wasn't too impressed like that in his debut. So, because I'll be honest with you, Igal, yeah, Brent, when I looked at Mbeumo a bit more, he is the type of Saka Salah type players, in it. They don't have. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be a fan of his, but you know what you're gonna get in it. It's just goals. I'll be so honest, but I have to keep the same energy. Do you get it?
Listen, you don't have to. If he scores goals for your team, you should be happy.
No, of course. Listen, if Mbeumo bags goals for me, I'm going to be happy. But I'm not going to start saying that he's this elite player in it. Do you get what I'm saying? With Cunha, there's more of X factor. He can do something out of nothing, and he can get you off your seat. And Mbeumo was he'll cut in, score a goal.
One day you're gonna forget about this eye test stuff.
I'll never forget about it, bro. That's my bread and butter. Come on now.
One day you're gonna forget about those spreadsheets again.
Yeah, come on, see, Rack knows.
I use a combination of the two, Rack. That's the thing.
Nah, bro.
There you go. That's the whole point. But see, you shouldn't criticize one if you're using both, because you're criticizing yourself to some extent. The whole point of using stats, right? What is the whole point of using stats?
To help back up the eye test.
It's to remove bias. Because if anybody can look at this. I was listening to yours and Lee's discussion the other day, right? And Lee was saying, how many times have you watched so and so player? And you said, oh, I've watched him on Y-Scout, and he kind of blew it. But ultimately, you can watch him 1,000 times. Doesn't mean you got good taste in footballers.
True.
Right?
True.
So just because you want to remove bias and have a level playing field to compare players, that's the whole point behind doing some kind of statistical analysis. And then better and more powerful stats, underlying stats, and all these other things. They're not even really about they're about trying to find patterns and numbers that people aren't even looking at,
And
but
also,
have a material impact on the pitch. So,
Rack,
anyway.
as well. Just to add
Shout
to your
out
point-
Matty here saying easy win for the Reds, no striker at Newcastle. Bears.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
so
just to
clever.
add to the stat spot, just real quick here. You know how obviously, Igal, you watched the game and you can see that Cunha was like one of our better players here. You know, if you go to SofaScore on FootMob, you know his rating was only 6.4.
Okay.
Like I'm just telling you, like that's like super low. So a guy who's not watched the game will think Cunha had a stinker. 6.4 is average.
This is,
And,
but hold on, can I just say the one thing that this is the thing I always find funny about United fans is that it's always nice until you see everyone close up. Do you know what I mean? It's all easy being the talisman for Fulham, being the talisman for Wolves, being the talisman for Brentford, but brighter lights. My issue with these players, especially Cunha, is efficiency, not quality, efficiency. How efficient is this player? Both Mbeumo and Cunha, they played against a good team, but they had enough of the ball to have created and done more than they did with the ball that they had. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. But if you look at like the chances that Cunha was creating, like I wouldn't say any of them he had to score. With Mbeumo, I agree. With Mbeumo, yes. With Mbeumo,
Yeah, so my point is between the two of them, they accumulated X amount of XG, and but then you think to yourself, what was super clear? Do you know what I mean? You don't recall super clear chances for them, but they accumulated a lot of small XG, which then brought. So then you say to yourself, okay, these guys, how efficient are these guys being? Because then you start looking at, okay, we want these guys to be more decisive, and that's where you go into these games like Fulham away, and that's where you need your guys to be decisive because the margins, the margins. So I expect them to be good signings. I expect them to be, like needle movers for United. But this is what I mean about, when you're looking at these players and you're saying to them, like, go win me the game, go, overperform your XG, go turn it into a better pass or this or that. So, Cunha actually could have had a penalty too. So can't be too harsh on the guys. They both had decent enough debuts. Just a little bit like, can they be a bit more efficient? Can you get a little bit more return on investment, a bit more bang for your buck in real time?
And Jay, efficiency, just to add to your point, efficiency stems on how you play and how the manager sets you up, because his system will allow you to create loads of chances in order for you to get more goals in it. So if you look at Mbeumo when he was with Thomas Frank, Mbeumo was the guy who was linking with Wissard, two main guys, and then Thomas Frank, because he allowed his players to do all of the work in the attacking area, it allowed them to get the efficiency. Obviously, when you play for a bigger club, it's going to be a lot harder to replicate it. I don't think Mbeumo is going to get 20 goals. My expectation of Mbeumo is probably to get at least 14 or 15 in the league alone. Similar with Cunha. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's very difficult to perform consistently in a team like United that's very unstable. Do you understand? So you can.
But you've also got the fact of so Sesko's going to come in probably this weekend, arguably. So then it's going to be like Cunha and Mbeumo, Sesko. I feel
is this? I just seen Manchester United are eyeing Camavinga. What?
No, it's not really. I mean, it's
just
not
again, bro. Not again.
Talk,
not again, bro. Listen, Madrid, bro. I'm tired of that club, man. Listen,
but it's in the Kayla. It's in the Kayla.
Nah, bro. I don't believe that nonsense, man. Listen, no chance. Camavinga to United.
Indy's done all right this summer, man. Indy's done all right this summer. He's come a long way.
He got co-signed from Fabrizio and.
What, is that the guy that broke the Belieber news?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be real, Camavinga's sick in it. he's elite. So
I know that he knows people at Liverpool for sure. I don't know about the other clubs, but I know he's definitely got sources inside Liverpool.
Could you see Man United dropping 80 mil on Camavinga? Yeah,
should do. He's quality. He's elite, quality midfielder.
All right, let's finish off Chelsea West Ham. Chelsea surely get the win, right?
Yeah, West Ham.
Cole Palmer finally gets here. What?
Yeah. West
Ham could get relegated. I know you're going to say that.
West Ham definitely could get relegated. I think Potter looks like he's absolutely lost his love for the game. It looks like Chelsea's killed him. Like The way he's talking so reckless. I'm like, what? What happens to like
We've
soft?
told them, you know, Jay.
No, he's yeah, absolutely. It's just the thing is that Potter. I just feel like West Ham lack so much quality. Apart from Bowen, I think the rest of the squad is just. I don't know if any. I mean, and I'm just looking at them and I'm thinking to myself, they've got maybe enough to be better than 2 of the 3 teams, but I mean, yeah, I think if they can get a result, because Potter, Potter's teams do take a little bit of time to get going. If you look back at his work, Potter, if you actually analyze it, it took his win percentage wasn't great at Brighton. It took a while for the Brighton team to get going. When the percentage did go up and they had that good team, De Zerbi came in immediately after and did a little bit more. Chelsea didn't go well. I feel like he needs, in modern football, he's taking too long. Do you know what I mean? Like he's taking too long to turn it around. They haven't got much money. I can't see this being anything other than like a pretty comfortable Chelsea win.
Fairs. I agree. 2-0 Chelsea.
I think Potter's a decent manager, but there's an environment and a structure at Brighton which I think helps good managers get the best out of themselves. And Potter had instability at Chelsea, as well as an unstable fan base, or maybe a bit of a kind of, I don't know, however you want to describe Chelsea fans. I don't want to get into a discussion about that. And West Ham is definitely a dysfunctional club. So putting a good manager into a dysfunctional environment, it doesn't work well often. So we'll have to see.
West Ham fans are crazy. There's still West Ham fans who call Declan Rice a rat for leaving for 100 million. It's weird fan base, some of those. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Really do appreciate the stream. We went for 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's almost midnight. So shout out to everyone watching. I'm gonna send you guys over now to another channel, see who's live. Ahmed, you got anything coming up? Guys, go check Ahmed out on TikTok. Tell them your TikTok, Ahmed.
Bro, my TikTok here is Ahmed MUFC7. I'm trying to close in on 20K. Help me out. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, big up, man. I appreciate it. Listen, been trying to post a lot. I will get on the YouTube slowly, innit? It's just that I've been inconsistent in it, like United, bro, just like in real life. So get it. So yeah, I will get on the YouTube. I'll do some more shows. Big up Igal for having me. Big up Rack and big up Jay. And love for the comment section for tuning in and keeping the conversation flowing, man. Big up.
Guys, we're gonna send you over to Deji Spurs. Tell him Eze to Arsenal. Start laughing at him. Let's rate his chat and just laugh at him for Eze going to Arsenal. We're out of here, people. Catch you guys in the next one. You already know what it is. What is that?
That's Ahmed's TikTok, man.
Big up, Rack.
Show the people, Rack. Show the people.
Rack is a real one.
Ahmed, I don't follow many people on TikTok, so
there you go. Yeah. Anyways, we're out of here, people. Catch you guys in the next one. Love for the love. You already know what it is. Eagle Talks Football. Let's go make fun of Deji. Peace.